is now at UCLA, and we were talking one time, he was talking about a brown bag lunch that they had in which they discussed methodology problems, and I thought that that was a pretty good idea, and decided to try it, to see if we could make a go of that at Arizona. And so I recruited 2 other faculty members who seemed amenable to my influence, since I was department head. And I had hired them both. That was Dick Boots and AJ, and persuaded them to participate in this in a weekly meeting, which we started sort of accidentally on Thursday afternoon, as I recall. And we also had 4 graduate students who were all in clinical psychology. And these were, well, Ann Scott was one of the original. Ann Scott was an experimental psychologist working with monkeys but who was interested in research methods, and she ultimately got re-specialized in neuropsych and works at the VA. I think she's still working there. And then there was Jim Wood, a clinical psychologist who is now a professor at the University of Texas at El Paso. And the third one was Maureen Hannah, Mo as she was known, who was a devout Catholic little woman and with a good Catholic husband, and who used to, in a play here every Easter, her husband used to play Jesus in this kind of passion play, and so I've forgotten his name. But anyway, she has been teaching at Siena College in Long Island for many years. And then the 4th one was Doug Tateran, who was Canadian, came down here with his family in an old VW van, hippie type thing, but he was able to make a go of it with his family to support them and finish his degree, and he went back to Canada and we haven't heard from him for a long time, but he was living and working in Winnipeg for a long time. He worked in the nursing department at the University of Winnipeg, University of Manitoba Medical.
Jake is still in contact with you.
What?
Jake is still in contact with you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think Doug had the distinction and the shortest participation. I think it was about 15 pages long.
Whoa! Get out of here.
The method section of his master's was
He did work with John as well.
So these other people were recruited to this group, and we had connections at that time with the nursing college in particular. Many of the nursing students, the graduate students and the PhD students took AJ's course in statistics, and they became interested, and so we had a number of nurses who participated quite actively for several years until they decided to stop letting their students be exposed to psychologists and teach statistics on their own, which was a solution to one problem, but not to others, I think. And so at any rate, but that we had over the years, and we had quite a number of people from different departments, amazingly from the business school, from nursing, from ed psych, and I don't know what other there were other departments, sociology,
Communication.
And communication. Ron was our recruit from communications. He already had his PhD and then some, but he came over and was a loyal attendee at EGAD teach us something about matrix algebra.
I hope I did more than try.
We were recalcitrant, I think. So at any rate, and at the time there was a good bit of money that was available in one way or the other, and so we had one of the sources of funds for a while was the American Board of Examiners in Radiology that gave us some money, and one of our members, EGAD, Anthony Gerdeman, was hired by them as a research assistant, and that developed into a regular job. He's been on the staff of the American Board of Radiology for many years now. And so with those funds, we were able to do a lot of other things, including traveling to various other countries, including Australia and let's see, Germany a couple of times, and England and Sweden and Greece. Yes. I missed out on the Greece trip, but one year we had I think it was that Australia the same year. Anyway, a lot of traveling around was a lot of fun, but it's remained fun even though we don't travel as much as we used to. I think somewhat regrettably, the only one who does that so much anymore is AJ.
I'm just staying at home lately.
So at any rate, that's the story of how this came about. This is a totally voluntary organization. No one. That's I think one of the reasons for its existence is that I've always insisted that no one has to come, and therefore I assume that everyone who is there wants to be there for whatever reason. There's no only under special circumstances is there even any credit for it. People come for a while and then drop out if they have other obligations and come back. I've also tried to keep this as informal as possible so that we don't have an agenda. This is not a course. It's not something with a syllabus and we meander all over the place. But the central issues, the central topics for our discussion are research methods and how to and the philosophy of science that underlies them, and how we use our research methods tools in order to solve problems. And our view is that the methods of science are common to all areas. There are no very special methods that apply to psychology, except in some trivial sense that psychologists rely a lot on self-report measures, which isn't done much in biology and physics and so on. But the methods are uncommon, and so our aim is to help everyone to develop their own kit of methods that they can use then to help solve problems in whatever areas in which they work. And that one of our primary roles is to serve as consultants to other people, to students and to colleagues, and to help them when we can with their problems. And we devote ourselves, I think, to trying to help people and come up with the best practical solutions possible. So that's
one of the things, though, that you particularly didn't mention is that when you go on these travels, you would pay for people, particularly graduate students, to come, and you would sit in the audience and watch them present. And I think that was a wonderful part of your mentoring, is to let them have that experience with you there to support them.
Well, thank you. I did take that task seriously. Sometimes.
Can I just insert A's rather than Y's? Because just last year I was at a conference where we gave you great feedback after, so it wasn't a Y's.
So anyway, that's how we got to be here, and the November 10th date was chosen arbitrarily because that happens to I forgot what date we actually started. It's probably September, October, whatever, but I couldn't remember any dates at that time. Yeah, anyway,
So I'd like you to think about Kathy Insel and Michelle Walsh and Patrick Knight. I want to know an important way the two of them are like and different from the third.
Are we talking about discriminative validity here?
Maybe. or maybe personal construct here.
Ah, yes, it is.
So anyway, I'm very grateful to have you all here tonight. This has been wonderful for me. I have so many dear friends who out of this, and one of the marvelous things about my career is that I've spent nearly all of my career working with people much younger than I, and I think that's really important. It's helped keep me going, and I intend to keep it that way. So I'm not going to hang
It'll
around
get
with
easier
any
and
of the
easier
old
to
guys. So thank you very much.
Thank you.